Good morning and welcome to the Friday Morning Show with your host, Deanna Deacon, intuitive life coach, retreat host, founder of the Empowered Woman Conference, and owner of this sweet little girl. This is Dixie Green. If you don't know her, you should probably head to Instagram and look up the hashtag Dixie Green because she has been around for a while and she's been on quite the adventures. And today she's joining us, showcasing how we can slow down without feeling guilty. She's really good at it, and chances are you have a pet at home as well that's also very good at it. I'm so glad that you're here. So today we're talking about exhaustion, overwhelm, how to slow down, and how to not feel guilty while we do so. Because everything that I teach about is about coming into the feminine way. And the feminine way is about allowing our feminine energy to rise to balance out our masculine energy. Since as a society, we are very masculine energy driven. However, because we have such a history and a past of being masculine energy driven and production and creation and do and make it happen and push it, pressure, when we soften and release and let go, oftentimes we don't know who we are anymore. We don't know how to be that person. And so that's what today's episode is all about. So for those of you who have joined me live, comment in, let me know that you're here, and share with me how you're feeling this morning, this beautiful Friday morning. How are you feeling today? For those of you who are watching the replay, you guys know how it goes. Hashtag replay. And again, let me know how you're feeling. Maybe you're watching this evening. Maybe it's later today. Maybe it's later in the week. How are you in this moment? Okay. We have a kind of a lot to cover today, but I do want to take a moment to really check in with you. There has been a pretty massive energetic shift that has occurred over the past few weeks or so, and some of you may have felt it, and it may be showing up as typical physical symptoms of just feeling tired, feeling overwhelmed, feeling frustrated, feeling agitated, those types of things. But please know that it's not just you. We're all feeling it, especially if you are in some way empathic and you're feeling the energy deeply. It's more than just what's going on in your life. So I want to give you just that little bit of acknowledgement and permission that you don't have to hold all this on your own shoulders, that we are in this as a collective. Okay. So I hope that whoever needs that can receive that from me. Okay, good morning. Hi, Roxanne. Feeling a little tired. Ice day here in Kelowna, Kamloops. Amazing. Ice town. And no, you are in Kelowna. What am I thinking? I think my brain's not fully working today, you guys, which is why also I am here in my cozy sweater. This is what I was wearing on the couch last night. I'm wearing the same pants, the same sweater I was wearing all evening on the couch to relax. Yeah, Kelowna. I was just in Kamloops last weekend. I think that's why I was thinking it. Hi, Taylor. Yay, it's Friday. Having a bath, feeling good. What an amazing way to start your Friday. I love that. Just having a nice morning bath. That's beautiful. And we've got Devin here and Leslie's here. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay. So I want you to take a moment. Whatever it is that you're doing, we're going to dive into, like I said, quite a bit of content that I want to cover for today. But first, I want you to pause. I want you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. We're going to do two more like that. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more. Just focus right here on the breath. Inhale. Exhale. And from this place, I want you to truly ask yourself, how are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you feeling? What is the truth behind how you feel in this moment? What is your heart or your body sharing with you? By coming into a moment of pause, a moment of softness, we can start to hear the palpitations of our body speaking to us and sharing the wisdom that is waiting for us to hear. How are you feeling? What does your body desire or need? These are the types of questions that when you ask yourself these questions, when you allow your body the space to answer for you, this is how the actions you take have the most incredible impact on your life, because you're doing so intuitively. You're doing these actions from a place of deep-rooted intention for healing and for nourishment and for love of your body and of yourself. And this is the feminine way. It's not about not taking action. It's not about sitting around doing nothing all the time. It's about having those moments of pause. And that one was a very brief one, but having those moments of pause all throughout the day to check in truly with yourself. Not what do I need to get done, not how do I feel in comparison to what I have coming up today, but how do you feel? How is your body? What's happening inside of you? These are the questions that you want to dig into with yourself, okay? Good morning, Roberta. Good morning, Devin. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a state of overwhelm and exhaustion is very individualized for each person and also changes throughout our life. And I shared a video a couple days ago called, I don't remember what it was called, something about overwhelm is a choice, I think. And it's true. The state of overwhelm is a mental state of being, an emotional state of being that we choose to step into subconsciously. We're not like, okay, I want to feel terrible today, I'm going to become overwhelmed. However, the triggers that lead us to that overwhelm and that exhaustion are different for all of us. You may be able to withstand a much higher level of connection and time with people or social time than I can. And that's beautiful. And that doesn't mean that I'm right or you're right. It just means that we're different. And so one of the key things in starting to understand how to keep yourself from going so deep into overwhelm and exhaustion is starting to get to know yourself more. Asking yourself what your patterns are, exploring in the past what led up to that point of you feeling so exhausted or so overwhelmed. What kinds of things trigger you? Is it when the house is complete chaos? That's when you like flip and suddenly everything is too hard? Or does that not even bother you? Maybe it's when too many people are asking for things from you and feel like everything is falling on your shoulders. Or maybe it's when you're not taking time to get adequate sleep or to nourish your body in the way that you know your body needs to be fed. Or maybe it's when you don't get a daily workout in, you become kind of wicked. And knowing that these are different for all of us is really important because you can't seek to me to find yours. You can't seek to your friends to find yours. You have to do that work yourself. You have to start understanding and exploring what does lead you to exhaustion? What does lead you to overwhelm? And as I mentioned too, it changes over time. So acknowledging that when we bring more into our life, when we bring on new tasks, new responsibilities, when we expand ourselves, our level of overwhelm is going to change. Whatever is used to trigger us, we might be able to withhold that now, and now we have a new trigger. Or maybe we can't handle as much, and now our triggers are just popping up everywhere. Acknowledging that this is a dynamic experience. It's not stagnant, it's not still, it is dynamic and constantly moving, just like we are, okay? Hi, Roberta, I see that you're here. At this moment, feeling lonely and stressing. Okay, Roberta, you're in the right place. We have got you, we're holding you here, girl. I'm glad that you're here and thank you for sharing authentically how you're feeling. So just breathe all of this into your heart. Don't look to figure all of this out. This is for everybody. Don't look to figure these things out. That's this. I want you to feel this and breathe this into your body because this is what's going to create the biggest change for you, okay? Just on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody who's watching live right now and the replay, what level would you say you're at for exhaustion or overwhelm right now in this moment? 1 being, I feel incredible. I got nothing. I want to go play. And 10 being, if one more person asks for one more thing, I'm going to go crazy. What level are you at right now between 1 to 10? I think Dixie's maybe at like a 3. She's probably a bit anxious, wondering when we're going to go for our morning walk. Hey, Dixie. For myself personally, I can feel that I'm on the brink. I can feel my patterns and my triggers rising. I can feel it. And so I've been taking so much space for myself. I have been taking my work that I need to do and just putting it to the side and then coming to it when I feel ready to focus and then putting it to the side and coming back to me because these are the patterns I've created for myself. But I can feel that I'm kind of on the brink. So I'm probably like a 5 or a 6, I think maybe. Okay, let's see. Roberta's a 10. Yeah, that's fair. You just shared that. Roxanne 6, Taylor 4, Leslie 7, Devin 6. Cool. Okay. Keep commenting in if you haven't already, or if you're watching the replay, comment in. So we're kind of all over the spectrum right now, but everybody is experiencing some form of exhaustion or overwhelm. So here are just 3 signs that this is coming on for you, okay? Now these are a little bit personal and with clients that I've worked with, so they might be different for you, but I want this to encourage you to seek what is true for you, okay? So these are 3 signs that I've noticed for myself and my clients when we're stepping into a state of overwhelm or when we're on that brink. These actions or patterns start to show up more fully, okay? So you might want to write these down if you can. This want or desire to overconsume. This for me especially is a really big sign that I am doing too much, taking on too much, not caring for myself enough. So overconsumption in terms of like wanting to buy everything. One technique that I taught myself when I lived in New Zealand and we were flat broke was I would go to the grocery store and I would allow myself to like wander up and down every aisle because I love shopping. It's one of my avoidance techniques for sure. And I would go up and down every aisle knowing that if I bought things, it was food, so it was consumable. So it was a good thing for me to buy that. I couldn't go shopping for clothes or other things because we didn't have the money. But shopping is for a lot of us a way that we just deflect our emotions and we just want to consume more things because it will make us feel better, we believe. That can also be online shopping. If you're suddenly on Amazon all the time and all you're doing every night is browsing, or on Facebook Marketplace, what can I buy? On Pinterest, are there different things that I can consume or make for myself? If you're in the online world a lot, consumption of content. So you've probably noticed a lot of online marketers will have like, come see my free webinar, I'm doing this free training, or I'm offering this, and it's an incredible way for people to get access to some of the expert advice they have to offer. And I've done pieces of that too, and I will in the future. But for you, do you notice that you're like signing up for everything, every newsletter possible, every free gift you can get? You're putting your email in, you're like, yes, give me more, give me more. That's a sign that you're trying to fulfill something that you're missing in here with everything out there, which, as we know, is never going to happen, right? And so this has happened to me in the past. Suddenly my email inbox is full of incredible content and incredible individuals, but I don't have the time or the space to deal with that. So I don't know why I signed up. So acknowledging when you are over consuming. Can anybody relate to this? Comment in with one of those hands up. Is this something that you can relate to? Because I'm sure that we've all been at this at different points, but right now at your different level of your overwhelm or exhaustion, can you relate with this now? Taylor, I'm guessing that maybe you can. I'm guessing that yours might be the free content, Taylor. You're so cute. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 of ways that you can the signs that you're coming into this state is avoidance. So an email comes in and you're like, oh, I don't want to respond to her right now, and I'll do that later. Or like I shared my video the other day, your laundry's sitting in the basket, you know you want to put it away, you know you feel good if you put it away, and you're like, oh, no, I don't want to. And just that feeling of like, everything is too hard, I can't do it, and coming into that victim mindset. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying this is a sign and a symbol for you that you're stepping on uncomfortable territory for yourself, okay? Leslie's hands up. So definitely, Leslie, that would be for the wanting to overconsume. Awesome. Thanks for that awareness and sharing it with us. Roxanne, love avoidance and procrastination. A lot of us are really, really good at it. And again, it's not bad. I'm not saying any of these things are bad at all. It's just that when they occur, let it be an indication for you to start getting a little bit more curious about yourself, okay? And Chelsea, yeah, hand up. Okay, avoidance technique. Awesome. Then the third sign that this is coming on for you, that you're coming into that state of overwhelm and exhaustion, is that you're spending time resting and you don't feel rested. You know that example of like, oh, I slept for 9 hours last night and I don't feel rested. I don't feel like I got enough sleep. Or I spent a couple hours on the couch with my family and we were watching TV and yet I'm exhausted. Or pushing yourself through multiple workouts and coming home and just like, oh, I can't even handle my life right now. Doing things that you believe are going to nourish your body in some way and they're not. Now, this can be frustrating for some because you're like, but I'm doing the things, why don't I feel good? And again, this is an indication that it's time to go inward. The choices that you're making for your rest are maybe not what your body really needs. Maybe your body doesn't need 9 hours of sleep, but it needs to go for a beautiful massage to release all of the tension in your body. Maybe you don't need to watch Netflix for 3 hours. Maybe you need to spend time with a lit candle and maybe a glass of wine and a journal. Maybe instead of spending time with your family, you need time in solitude. Or maybe instead of time in solitude, you need time laughing and playing with your family. There's no right way to do this other than what feels true for you in the moment. So if you're noticing that your restful time is not allowing you to feel rested, this is a key indicator. It's time to look at the choices you're making and just be willing to create change. That's it. Okay? So out of those three, what can you relate with most? Is it the wanting to overconsume, the avoidance technique, or that your rest time is not making you feel rested? Which one can you relate with most when it comes to your overwhelm and exhaustion? Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. And while those are coming in, I'm drinking a delicious cup of shaga that I got from a friend of mine. I'm pretty sure it's local. And ooh, this is so good for when your body needs to rest and repair. This is Mother Earth right here. Literally, looks like that tastes like feet. Taylor can relate most with consumption. Devin can relate most with avoidance. Awesome. Keep them coming, ladies. Share with me. Those of you on the replay, share with me. What is it that you can relate most with these three signs? Hi, Michelle. Love to you. Leslie, all of the above, mostly the overconsume. Cool. Awesome awareness. Hi, Brittany. Good morning. Chelsea, avoidance. I really like trying to make those faces. Taylor, replying to Taylor, paired with avoidance. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all do these things, right? And again, they're not bad. These are indicators for us. And that being said, everything in life is an indicator for us. Everything in life is an opportunity for us to look further inward. Instead of seeing like, oh, I'm such a terrible person because I did these things and I'm on this in this pattern cycle again. Don't look at it like that. Look at it as, oh, I'm in this pattern again. Okay, I wonder why. I'm going to sit and journal. I'm going to talk to my coach. I'm going to explore this. I'm going to get curious. I'm going to spend time with myself to explore it. That's what it's showing up for, okay? Roberta identifies most with avoidance, and Brittany, love to you. Okay, so those are some signs that it's coming on. Once you're already in this state of exhaustion and overwhelm, what do you do, right? And I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what do you do? You can share it in the comments if you want to, or just ask yourself internally, what do I do when I feel exhausted? We all have different mechanisms and ways of dealing with it. And oftentimes it's deflection and just like, nope, can't do that. Nope, nothing. In the past, I've gone through phases of like canceling everything that I had scheduled. That has been really powerful for me because I live a very busy life for the most part. But there's lots of different ways that we deal with this exhaustion or overwhelm when it comes on. So asking yourself what you're already doing or what your pattern is. And then you get to ask yourself if that you feel that's serving you. If you want to change it, you can. If it works, that's awesome. Keep doing it. Okay. I'm going to share with you some ways that you can move through this and allow all of these pieces to process in a more feminine way without the guilt. Taylor, I like that. Everything is an indicator. Yes. So when you start diving a little bit deeper into a lot of different spiritual texts, it talks about how we're here on earth in this life for everything in our lives to indicate to us a way that we can grow. And that's it. And so when we grasp and hold on to all the things like our money and friends and love and a need to be approved and all of these things, we're grasping what isn't actually there. That's for another topic. I'll bring that up another time. Maybe not a Friday morning show. Maybe that'll be more of like an intuition workshop. But yeah, we can go deeper into that. Good morning, Susan. Devin, push to do everything or sit and do nothing. Yeah, how many people can relate to this concept of like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And things like emptying the dishwasher, putting socks on, walking the dog. These things become too much. Like there's nothing inside of you anymore to give. Yeah, can anybody relate to that? I know I can. That's definitely happened many times in the past for me. Susan, yeah, I thought you might love Dixie there. She knows how to chill out. Absolutely. That's why I think she's here for this one. Okay, so how can we deal with this overwhelm, exhaustion, and just like this state of I can't do anything in a more feminine way that allows it to process without pushing ourselves through it, okay? I get an itchy nose. Yeah, Devin can relate to that. Taylor, I'm getting better at evaluating my schedule and gauging when activities and are energy draining or energy encouraging. Absolutely. And Taylor, another note with that, as you continue to grow in your business and all these things that you are doing, that changes too. It's dynamic and it shifts and changes. I shared a post the other day that in the fall, I was full of fire. And I loved it. It was so much fun. And I was taking on everything and it felt incredible. And acknowledging that now I don't have that same fire. Yes, I care about what I'm doing. Yes, I like the internal flame is there, but it's not nearly as big. The flames aren't flying. Therefore, what I'm taking on now is very different than what I was taking on in the fall, and just allowing ourselves to adjust in that way. Yeah. Chelsea, I became more reactive to everything. Like I became snappy with people. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. And I agree with Devin. I end up doing nothing all day and then get mad at myself for wasting a whole day. Totally. That's that concept of guilt. We all do it as a whole collective society. We do it. We feel guilty about so many freaking things. It's ridiculous. And it doesn't really serve a purpose other than to bring us down and make us feel terrible. So let's explore how we can release that guilt. Number one, I've already mentioned this today, but this is the number one thing to do when you're feeling like you're a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of that 1 to 10 spectrum of exhaustion and overwhelm. Talk to your body. Talk to your body, talk to your body, talk to your body. In 2 ways. 1, ask questions. How do you feel? What do you need? At the very beginning of this video, we did 3 deep inhales and then came into how does my body feel and what does it need in this moment? That's an example of being in communication with your body. Your body knows what it needs, but you need to create space and opportunity for your body to speak to you in that way, okay? The second piece is speak to your body in terms of, I love you. I know you're feeling tired and I'm proud of you for showcasing that. Thank you for showing me that you're tired. Yes, I'm going to make changes for you. I love you. I honor you. And genuinely loving up on your body, because this body is the thing that is taking you through life. This body has been here since day one. So nourish it, love it, not just with food, but with love, with words, with cuddles, with hugs, with everything that allows you to feel really good. Talk to your body, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, allow your emotions to be present. This one is hard for a lot of us because we have been conditioned to believe that emotions are bad. Feeling tired, feeling sad, feeling anything is not bad. Again, these are indicators of where we are looking to grow inside. These are indicators of beliefs that we have that are causing us to feel separated from all, from source, from God, from the universe. And when we allow our emotions to be present, we allow that aspect of who we are to flow, to be, to show up. And we're not denying this component of who we are. So many times we want to just like shove it down and push it away. I don't have any emotions. I don't have any feelings. We're fine. But it's not true. You do have those emotions, and it's energy. Emotions are energy, like vibrating molecules of energy all around your body. And so they need to release. So here are some things that I would recommend. For those of you who are in the Empowered Woman series, you have access to these tools. For those of you who don't, you can look them up on Google. You just don't have access to it from me. But things like emotional freedom technique tapping. Super awesome when you're feeling really emotional. This is a tool that I will often use when I'm actually in an emotion, like, oh, everything's so hard. Why can't I? And then I come into my tapping and then I start tapping through the emotion. So that's a tool I'll use when I'm in it. Another tool that I'll use is an energy release technique. So again, emotion is all of these energy molecules floating around in your body. Those need to release. So that can be going for a sweet workout, that could be dancing in your living room, or using a specific technique like the energy release technique that I teach in the Empowered Woman series. And this is a way to really release and let go of that energy so that your body can come back to homeostasis and start fresh, okay? Another way to move through this while accepting and allowing your emotions to be present is journaling. And journaling not like, okay, how do I solve this? How do I get out of this? How do I move through this? Journaling in a state of, how am I feeling? Why do I think that is? How do I feel about feeling that way? What would it feel like to come into the observer in this moment? What do I think would allow me to feel softer? What am I craving in this moment? What do I want someone to say to me right now? And can I say that to myself? These are the types of questions you can journal through, asking yourself, not trying to figure things out, but just out of curiosity. in a way, this is also like talking to your body. It's just through writing form. This is really powerful. And I actually have a blog post that'll be coming out perhaps today or this weekend. I don't know. I have to do some more editing on it. That is an introduction to journaling. So Susan, you had talked about journaling before. So this is a blog post that's going to be sharing specific questions you can ask yourself, how to get started, how to make sure you're journaling in a way that's serving you for you. So you can watch your email inbox for that, or watch Facebook, and I'll be sharing that soon, so you can use that as a tool too. Hi, Raylyn. Taylor, stomping around in the bathroom at work. Yeah, absolutely. As long as the intention is to release, and not build up. Because sometimes we can, if we're in an angry state or a frustrated state, we can build up and get more and more frustrated. But if the intention is just to let it go, and come back into that place of love and that place of surrender, then yeah, that's golden. Chelsea, journaling is your favorite. Yeah, Chelsea, me too. I go through a journal like every month, every 2 months. I love it. Okay, the third tip for you, and this is about releasing guilt. So please notice that as I'm sharing, talking to your body, it's not about trying to fix things. It's about allowing your body to share with you what it wants or needs. Maybe it wants a cup of tea on the couch. Maybe it wants to go to bed at 7 p.m. Maybe it wants to wake up at 5 a.m. so you have lots of time for reading this new book that you're loving. Your body will share with you what feels right. And the second piece, allowing your emotions. It's not about feeling guilty that you have the emotions. It's not about feeling guilty that you feel tired. Don't feel guilty about that. If you look at nature, there is snow outside. The world is dormant, at least in the northern hemisphere, because it is winter. As humans, if we were living fully off the land, we would be more dormant now as well. However, we have the ability to have electricity and heat and all these things to pretend like it's summertime. And so we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. But the fact is that our bodies deserve that rest and that space. So allowing these emotions to be present is allowing yourself to have no guilt around it and just let yourself be who you are in this moment. Okay? This is so key. The third piece. This one's easier said than done, for sure. The way I wrote it down is so funny. Stop all comparison and judgment. Cool, D. All right, great. I've been trying to do that for ages and I'm not doing it yet. But honestly, stop comparing yourself to others. Stop judging others. This is something that actually I noticed in myself a little while ago. When I'm feeling, like I said, I'm on that brink of that exhaustion or overwhelm for myself. And I'll notice that I'll be over-consuming content from others. So I'll be scrolling on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll notice what other entrepreneurs are doing. Since I'm very business-minded, I notice what other entrepreneurs are doing. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. How come my ads don't look like that? How come my images aren't like that? And I get this comparisonitis. And then I want to start creating. And then I'm like, okay, well, I should create things. And I go into Canva and try to create everything. And then I catch myself and think, whoa. The only reason you want to create that is because you feel insecure about yourself and you're comparing yourself against what they've created. Therefore, anything that I create from that state is not going to be of service to you, who it's for. It's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of not feeling good enough within myself. So it's not worth it, right? So noticing where you're comparing and judging of yourself and of others, that's just adding the guilt on. Anytime we're comparing, anytime we're judging our friends because they get to go to Mexico and we don't. Judging others because they just bought a new car and we don't feel like we have the funds for it. Judging others because they're making all of these homemade delicious meals and we don't have the time for that. This is adding more guilt and more stress and more pressure to you. So as much as you can, try to avoid it. Stuart Cat just came in and they had a little moment. Something that I would suggest for anyone that's really feeling this comparison and judgment piece is acknowledge where it's coming from. If it's coming from social media, like for me, sometimes it does, I will then take space from social media. I will make sure that I'm in there because I'm currently hosting 2 incredible groups, the Empowered Woman Mastery and the Empowered Woman Series. I'll make sure that I spend my time and my energy and my love in those areas, but I will take myself off of mindless scrolling. I will delete the Facebook app or the Instagram app if it's getting, if I'm feeling like I'm addicted to it, I will release that. Give myself a couple days, just let it go. If you're noticing that this comparison and judgment comes from spending time with other people, like spending time with your circle of friends or coworkers, doing social things like that, just take a break from it. Take a break from the trigger that's adding all that onto you so you can refuel yourself. Or if you're finding that you're spending so much time alone and you're getting into that headspace, stop spending so much time alone. Ask for people to come hang out with you. Like plan a date with girlfriends, go for lunch with friends, have a girls' night, whatever it is. Visit, call your family, anything you need to help yourself stay out of this place. That's what's going to make a big difference for you. Okay. So I saw a bunch of comments come in. Rochelle, totally, being dormant is a part of nature's cycle. Absolutely. Susan, it's not dormant. There's magic hidden in growth you can't see. Absolutely, Susan. And that's the feminine aspect of what's occurring underneath the perceived dormancy of the masculine, right? We're not doing as much, but we're building and growing and creating for what's to come next. It's just that we can't see that or feel that. And unless we believe that it's there, we believe that nothing is happening. And that's what can be really challenging for our brains. So thank you for that, Susan. Chelsea, I actually noticed that my overwhelming states are more experienced during the winter. Yeah, and a lot of times that's the case too, Chelsea, because we can't just like step outside and feel so free and released and everything's so fun. It is about having a dormancy. It is about having some downtime. And as a society, we are not good at accepting that. And so doing less is a good thing. Doing less is a great thing. But we need to start teaching ourselves that that is true. We're still valuable and wonderful and lovable and all of these pieces. We are still those things if we're doing less. Our house does not need to be spotless. Our journal, we don't need to journal specifically every single day. Like all of these pressures we put on ourselves to live a specific style of living, that's what needs to go. That's what can create a lot of that anxiety. Okay. Good morning, Leanne. Very timely. Good. I'm glad that this is serving for you. And Chelsea, I'm horrible for having that comparison related to social media and do see a big improvement when I step back. Exactly. Another thing that I've noticed in my life is if I watch TV shows that are like some sort of like drama TV show, which I mean, of course, I love them. I have anxiety after. And I learned this like probably like 7 or 8 years ago when Luke and I were sort of starting to date. We used to watch these drama TV shows together. And I would notice that shortly after we watched a few shows of it, I would be picking fights with him. I would be like nitpicking for things to cause problems. Because that's what you see on drama TV. There's constantly like high emotions, low emotions, and like breakdown and then come back together. That's the point of drama TV. But it's not real life. Life is allowed to be relaxed and fluid. You're allowed to laugh every night with your partner if that's the lifestyle that you guys have. You don't have to have fights all the time. If you're growing and building this relationship where you can relax and surrender together, then you don't have to have that. So that has been a big one for me in the past, is letting go of watching just kind of that TV, that social media, TV, whatever it is that's influencing you. Remember that you are consuming all day long with whatever you bring into your life. That's why choosing the people you're spending time with or not spending time with, choosing who you see on social media or how much you see of that, choosing what you're watching on TV, choosing the conversations you're engaging with or not. This is what's dictating and choosing the life that you live. Yeah? Can you guys see that? Okay. There's so much more that I want to dive into with this, but it's not really... The Friday morning show is wonderful for opening up the conversation, but it's not necessarily a place where we can go super, super deep. So I'm going to allow that just kind of like percolate there. If this is something that you are struggling with and you are looking for some more support around it, please know that I'm here. I was asking myself this morning, what is it that what is my heart calling forward? And my heart is calling forward an opportunity to work with one, maybe two people in a one-on-one capacity. I'm running a few group programs. I love them. They're amazing. But my heart is just like aching to welcome one or two more women into this one-on-one container, this one-on-one coaching container of these types of conversations on a regular basis, going far deeper and individualized and personalized for you. So if this is something that you've been craving, desiring, wanting in your life, I am opening my heart to receive you in. So if it feels right for you, go ahead and reach out and we can explore that. I'm going to keep my heart open and see who those individuals are meant to be, because I can feel that I just want to come and embrace you in my arms, energetically or physically if you're local. Embrace you in my arms, and together we can hold that container in that space for you to expand and grow and witness yourself in your own empowerment, which to me is always the most beautiful thing to see. So I would love for you to take some time. If you took notes here, I want you to take a look at these notes again, go through them again and ask yourself, what was most important to you? What matters most to you? Again, with all the things I share, they tend to be a little simplistic, but they're very profound and powerful. Coming into your own empowerment and your own awakening doesn't have to be super, super complicated. We can make it that way if you want it to be, but it can also be quite simple. And so I want you to take a look at these simple tips and techniques and consider what is right for you, okay? And if you know someone in your life could use a video like this or some of these tools like this, please consider sharing so that they can have access to it, or even just tag them in the comments below so they can come and watch it. And final thing, if you happen to be in Williams Lake this tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to be in Williams Lake offering workshops. Tonight is Conscious Relationships, the first live Conscious Relationships workshop ever, which I'm going to be doing some final prep for that this afternoon. So that's tonight. There's still some spots left at Satya Yoga Studio. And if you're also in Williams Lake, tomorrow, Saturday at 11 a.m. at Satya, we're doing a belly fit class. It's going to be fiery and like sweaty and really like girl powery. The routine is a little bit African dance based, and it's really like, I don't know, just really gets you going. So if you're in Williams Lake, or if you're willing to travel, come join us at 11 a.m. at Satya. Both of those workshops, you can get tickets at the satyayogastudio.ca for the website. Okay. I love you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend. And oh, one more thing. If you follow my podcast, the podcast episode coming out on Wednesday is fire. I recorded it with a friend of mine all about the Super Bowl halftime show and what it means to be a woman and to come into your own sensuality, sexuality, what it means to be too sexy, all of these concepts, what we're teaching the next generations, J-Lo and Shakira, all the things. You're going to want to tune into it. It is a powerhouse podcast episode. So go ahead and check that out on Wednesday next week. And then I'll see you here next Friday. Mwah! Love you guys. Bye.